Welcome back to Internet Girlz.
Yeah, welcome back. Oh my gosh. Again, I feel like lifetimes have been lived, even though we podcasted from when I was in New York.
I know. Yeah, so many lifetimes over here. Nap Central.
No, but I'm now back in my house though, and it feels so nice. And
I bet.
There's just something about like being around your shit, you know?
No, you were gone a long time.
It was 16 days.
Oh my God. Okay, that's not as long as I thought it was, but you like did so much.
And I have so much to do too because I'm going out of town again.
When?
For that bachelorette, one of my best friend's bachelorette parties in Key West.
Oh yeah, when's that though?
It is, I think, the 26th. Or no, the 24th.
Oh yeah, that's soon.
Or no, the 26th. Because it's the 21st. Yeah.
Okay.
It's still soon-ish, you know.
Yeah.
Because this is like my busiest month of work.
I know, I can't believe you're traveling so much and you're having your busiest month too.
No, it's extraordinarily stressful.
Yeah. I can imagine.
I'm #stress because like PCOS Awareness Month is my biggest month, and I'm sad a little bit about like how it's went this year because I typically do a lot more like informational stuff and just like educational content this month and like really like dive into PCOS, you know? And I don't think I've really done that as much this year because I've been struggling. I had all this stuff planned, like I was going to do a PCOS tip of the day every single day.
Oh, wow. That would have been fun. But you know what? Here's the thing. Even though it's like PCOS Awareness Month in September, you don't have to just do it in September, you know? Like PCOS is for every day.
That's right, unfortunately. So I was like, oh, I'm going to film one every single day, just like a quick like tip, and I'll just post it every day.
Yeah. Well, you could start now. You could do like the last week or two of PCOS Awareness Month.
New York was so fun. I stayed in New York like a little bit longer because my friend Sydney, so nice of her, let us stay at her apartment because she was out of town until the 22nd. So Matt happened to be off for like a good amount of time after that too. So for 6 days. So after Fashion Week ended though, so then he came up and we hung out in New York for like 4 days together, and that was like very chill. And it was
That's good.
Yeah.
You needed it because I know every time I was talking to you last week, you were like, I just want to order pizza, put my cozies on, and like watch TV and like not go out. And I was like, you have to go out. It's New York Fashion Week. Like you did that.
I know. I was like, oh, like I was dragging myself to everything, which I was so happy once I got there and like so grateful to be there.
Yeah.
It was a really cool experience, but like very Sex in the City, you know, like
yeah.
Vibe.
Solo girl going to Fashion Week events.
Yeah, and I was
pretend to be single.
I was getting a lot of DMs, people being like, are you going to these events by yourself? And I'm like, yeah.
I know. That's so impressive.
But honestly, if you know, like, you know me, like, it's really wasn't that hard for me.
Yeah. But for most people, that's hard. Like, to even, like, Fashion Week itself is intimidating. And then to, like, go to these events by yourself and make friends and, like, do all this stuff that you did, it's hard for most people.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, people were like, oh my gosh, that would give me so much anxiety.
Yeah, it would give me so much anxiety.
And, you know, the first one I went to, I was like, well, here we go. But I think I was just so tired that I like, because I was coming from Iceland, jet lag, like everything. So I was just like too like strung out to like have those like emotions really like even have a space, you know?
Yeah. You're crazy, dude. Why did you go to Iceland in September?
Well, because Matt had a week off.
So? You didn't.
So it's like one of those things where it's like anytime, so how Matt's like work works is like their 13-week contract. So whenever they end, you can negotiate like a week off. And so every 13 weeks he negotiates a week off if we extend, or if not, then he's just like off until we sign a new contract, and we'll typically move somewhere. Or we will move somewhere. So even if he is like, hey, I want to extend, he'll ask for a week off so we can go on like a trip abroad. And obviously a week is not like a long time for like an abroad trip, because you have to factor in like getting there. But going to Iceland, that's a long time, because Iceland from Boston is only a 5-hour direct flight. Insane. So we were there for like 6 days. But like, had we been like, okay, let's go to Italy, even though it's like closer over here, because we were going to go to Italy, we were like looking at flights, and like basically we would have had 3 days,
Yeah.
So it was like 3 days in Italy for like those long flights, or we could go to Iceland, and have 6 days.
Or you could have stayed home and just had like a staycation.
I know, but I feel like we do that all the time.
It was just, I remember you going into September being like, oh my God, I have so many collabs. I'm so stressed, but I'm going to Iceland. I was like, you're insane.
And then it's like, wait, New York Fashion Week is happening.
YOLO. Well, I just got back from Sedona. I went to a bachelorette party there. Sedona is magical. Like, there is something in the air. I literally have my like crystals here that I got because we did aura photos in Sedona.
Show me yours. Bring it.
Oh my God. I actually have it right here. Okay, I'm going to do a whole video about this. So if you're not watching, look how pretty.
That's really pretty. It's like an angel.
It's so cool. I got like strawberry lemonade colors, and then this is my like full body chakra.
Oh, that's cool.
So cool.
I have gotten an aura photo done before in Salem, and I had yellow in mine too.
Really? Yellow is creativity, so that's like not that surprising.
They also said yellow is also linked to your inner child.
Yeah. But yeah, so they gave us like a whole list of crystals that would like help our like certain chakras like need some assistance. So like mine was my crown chakra, which like shocker because I'm pregnant and my brain is tired and smaller now. But I was like, okay, I don't know if I believe in crystals, but we went over to the crystal store and I started looking at all the crystals, and I actually got so into it because there's just like so many, and all of them would say like, this is for this and this is for this. And so I ended up getting 2. These were for my throat chakra because they say I talk too much, which I mean, I do.
Great.
I shouldn't have told John this though, because he's like, you need to rest your throat chakra. Stop talking.
Ammo.
But we were all looking at all these crystals. So I got these 2 pretty little ones. I don't remember exactly what they're for, but like, if you're not watching, you can't see, but like, how pretty is that? And this is my other one. I don't even remember what they're called anymore. I'll have to look it up in my photos, but okay. I was like so into it.
When you're picking them out and they were talking to you, you're like, oh, I'm going to remember this. I know exactly what this is.
I know. I'm like, this is crucial for my like chakra well-being right now.
And now you're like, I don't remember.
Yeah, I actually have no idea. But it was super interesting because I was like really curious, like, will it pick up on the aura of my baby? Or like, how will that show up? And they were like, so I didn't tell them at first that I was pregnant, and they were going over my like full body chakra chart, and they were like, your like lower like stomach, like reproductive area is showing very, very tired, and is also showing a lot of yellow, which is like creative energy and like creating an inner child. And I was like, oh, well, I'm pregnant. So like, could that be why? And they were like, oh, 100%. They're like, your uterus is tired. You need to rest. Like all of this stuff. It was so crazy to see that. And for them to like totally like know what was going on without me even telling them, like makes me believe it a little.
No, I believe all that. Like, I'm a hippie in that, like, energy crystal way. But I'm not, like, super into it where I'm, like, reading the books and anything like it twisted. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah. No, it's so interesting. And there was like so much to look at in the crystal shop. He was like, you could spend hours in there. And I was like, why? And then I went in there and I was like, no, you can literally spend hours in here, like just reading about like every little crystal. Like, oh, there were so many like pretty like little crystal trays. And like, oh, he had us sit on this crystal chair to clear our energy.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm going to make a whole vlog. It will probably be out by the time this episode's out, but it was such a cool experience and like so much fun to do on a bachelorette trip. Cause like we were all just like sharing each other's like aura photos with each other. Like, what did yours say? And they were all so different.
That's so cool. Did anyone have white in their aura photo?
Yeah. So one of the girls had every color.
Oh, that's cool.
I know. What is white? Do you remember?
No, but I had a lot of white.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I mean, I have it here.
Oh, that's so cool. We should get someone to come on one day who like does aura like reading.
That would be fun. Oh, white. Okay. Transcendent, transformation, spiritual, healing, quiet, enlightened, sensitive, live in higher dimensions, strong spiritual connection. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Also, they told me that I have really strong psychic energy.
Okay, every psychic I've been to has told me that too, but like, have you ever noticed yourself like know things before? Like,
oh no, I'm 100% psychic.
Yeah.
Like 100%. I've known this about myself for my entire life. Like I know things before they happen.
Wait, I feel the same way. Or if someone's about to tell me something, I'm like, they're about to tell me this, and like it'll be something so far off base, but like that's what they've told me, and I won't know it until it's like right about to happen. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's weird.
The thing for me is I don't have to set alarms when I'm like baking, like timers, because I will know when it's done.
Oh my gosh, the spiritual baker. If you
Isn't that crazy? We were like making cookies one night at the bachelorette party. I didn't even know there were cookies in the oven, but I was like, has anyone checked on the oven? And they were like, there's cookies in there, but there's a timer. And I was like, you should check. They were perfect. I didn't even know there were cookies.
Hannah, you know what this is giving? This is giving Mean Girls. There's a 30% chance that
it's already raining. Oh my God. So yeah, my intuition is strong. My psychic energy is there.
That's so fun. I love it.
We need to go to Sedona. We could do like a spa weekend and play with crystals and just like the vortexes.
Yeah, tell me about those, because like I hear there's certain parts in like the world that have these like spiritual vortex places. Joshua Tree is one of them, and I've been there, but that's probably I think the only place I've been to with one of these like vortex like places, which makes you like feel super at peace. I don't know, you just went, so you probably can explain more about like what a vortex, like what they mean by that.
Yeah, I'd literally never heard of it, but they are all over the world. And basically like the scientific definition is it's a place that has a lot more metal in the earth. And so like in Sedona, they have the red mountains, and that's like, they're super iron rich mountains. So there's a ton of iron, which makes like compasses and stuff just go like absolutely crazy. But it's not everywhere in Sedona. It's like certain little locations that you'll go and you'll see the juniper trees are growing in spirals, which is like crazy because they don't normally do that. But they're like, you'll see it like doesn't know which way to grow. So it'll just grow like in this weird spiral. And our guide, because we did a Jeep tour, he's the one who brought us there, and he was telling us that he's seen like miracles happen at these vortex spots where like people will come, like people who are like super like hunched over and they haven't like stood up straight in so long. They have like major back problems, or people who have like broken arms or something, and they'll go to these spots and like all their pain will just like disappear, just gone. Like they'll just like stand up straight and be like, oh, I feel fine.
That's so wild. That's so cool.
It's so cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't last. Like it will come back when you leave the vortex. But so like the ancient Indians used to go to these vortexes and have like full moon ceremonies and like new moon ceremonies and like meditate and like pray to the universe and like all this stuff. And it was an interesting feeling because they say that when you're there, you can like stand with your hands like kind of together like in front of you and like face the mountain, and you will feel like the energy in your hands. And all of us felt like a tingling sensation in our hands, which we didn't feel like when we got back to the house. We were all trying it again and none of us felt it. And you just feel like super at peace, and you just feel like everything's okay. I don't know how to explain it. It was like a crazy thing.
I want to go. Yeah, see, like, the only time I've ever been in one of those spots was when I went to Joshua Tree, and I didn't, like, pay, like, it's just as Hannah described it. It's, like, it's not, like, everywhere in Joshua Tree or, like, these spots. It's, like, certain, like...
hot spots.
Yeah, or like that, and I wasn't, like, paying that close attention. I wish I would have been like, okay, I need to stand here, feel this, you know what I mean?
Well, like in Sedona, they have like a vortex map. So you can like go to these different vortexes. And we went to like the strongest one.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
So
But,
cool.
like, Sedona, like, to me in my head, like, because Arizona is flat, right? But Sedona is mountainous.
Yeah.
So, like, was it,
I
like,
mean, Arizona is very like flat with these like plateaus, you know, like these plateau mountains. And that's kind of like what Sedona was. And they were just like super red and beautiful. It felt fake. It was so beautiful.
oh my gosh. But is it giving, like, luxury, though? Because, like, that's where all the, like, health and wellness spas, I feel like, are big out there.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to a spa. I mean, obviously this wasn't my trip, so I like couldn't decide where we were going, but I really wanted to go to a spa. I've heard amazing things about the spas there, which I get because they probably use a lot of crystals and they use like the magical earth energy or whatever. But yeah, we went to like to a really nice dinner one night, like on a creek, and like it was definitely like you can get your outdoorsiness there, but you can also get your luxury there.
Oh, that's cool. That's like, I feel like Aspen, I was telling you this earlier, but I feel like Aspen, Colorado is like that. Like,
Yeah, I bet they're really similar.
yeah, like, but just, you know, more mountainy, like more like,
Yeah.
skiing, you know, more like
Yeah.
spiritual. See, that sounds way more my speed.
Yeah. Oh, it was so nice. Highly recommend. I've always wanted to go to Sedona, and I've just heard about like all these magical earth traits that happen there. And I just, yeah, it was really cool.
That's awesome. So fun. So we've just been being girls of the world, basically.
Yes.
So I have a new obsession right now. Actually,
What?
I have two new obsessions. So one of them, have you seen that trend that's going around where people are like freezing grapes and they're putting like,
Oh, like Jolly Rancher stuff on it?
yeah, but it's like sour, like
Yeah.
sour. Well, for some reason, Costco sells them like without having to make them, just like in a bag in a freezer.
No way.
Yeah, so we stumbled upon them, and Matt had like sent me the video of like these frozen grapes like that, like someone making them a long time, or like not a long time ago, like the day before. And I was like, Matt, look that, and he was like, oh my gosh, should we get 2 bags? And he had 2 bags in his hand. I was like, Matt, put one of them back.
Let's try it first.
Yeah, but they're so good. I'm obsessed.
Really?
I fear that I have like damaged my tongue because I've
Oh.
been like, and they're
Do you
like,
chew them or like suck on them?
you chew them. You could suck on them, but
I want to try.
very sour.
Wow.
During just talking about them, but you should. That would be a fun little project for you to do at home.
Make them?
To make them.
Yeah. I just have a problem with the texture of frozen grapes.
Oh, really?
It bothers my teeth.
I could see that.
Yeah.
It is a strange sensation to the teeth.
I don't love it. That's why I haven't tried it before, but I do want to try it.
It's a different thing. You know, someone was telling me freezing gushers is really good.
That I would try.
Doesn't that sound good? But anyways, and then my next thing, has this ever happened to you? I was thinking about making this a TikTok because I'm like, this is so weird. Has there ever been, this has happened to me 3 times now in my life, but has there ever been a food that you absolutely hated? Like you're like, oh, I don't like that. And then one day you wake up and it's like your favorite food.
Not to that extreme, but I have experienced that. What was yours?
Okay, so the first time it happened to me, I was very young and I used to hate butter. Tried
Like
butter.
by itself or like cooking, like with butter?
Oh no, like on bread.
Oh, I was like, I mean, I don't love butter either when I just like spoon feed it.
No, I meant like spreadable butter on bread. Like I used to not like that. What was I thinking? So maybe it would have been cooler if I like didn't ever. If I would have kept that aversion. No, I'm just kidding. I would gladly give that up. There's so many amazing butters in the world.
Yeah, you're a butter girl.
Butter girl. But so that, and then it was cheese. I used to hate cheese unless it was melted.
You poor thing.
I know, but those were very short. Now I'm obsessed with cheese. Like,
yeah,
honestly, cheese is like the best thing in the world. But something that recently happened to me was green olives.
Ugh.
No, I used to hate them too. I used to be like, ew, I hate olives. Olives are disgusting. Still hate black olives. Disgusting. But green olives, I am now, I don't know what happened. Like, Matt was like, I think he would like green olives. He's told me because like he started liking them because he drinks martinis whenever we're out sometimes. And so I was like, well, maybe I will try them because I think they're cute. I like them on things. Like, I just think aesthetically they're...
I like the aesthetic of the green olive.
So I was like, I'm going to give it a try. Maybe I misjudged them. I am now obsessed. I can't stop eating them. Today I had myself a huge bowl of green olives. Like, just...
That's insane. When was the last time you tried one before that?
Like, years. Like, okay. I'm talking like... Yeah, so maybe I was just a little kid before, you know? I tried.
That would probably be it. Because I know that our taste buds like develop as we get older. I haven't tried a green olive in a long time either because I just know that I hate them, but maybe I need to try them.
No, you should try a certain one. Like, they have to be a certain... Like, it's not all green olives that I like. Like, they have to almost be, like, a little bit hard. But not too hard. Not soft and mushy, like a harder green olive, like that you almost have to chew. And honestly, pitted olives are my favorite.
This is making me nauseous.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll stop talking about olives. That's never happened to you, or you? I'm now obsessed with them. By the way, though,
it happened once with another psychic friend of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like, "I can make you like foods that you don't like," which I should have used her for seafood, but she had me take a bite of biscotti. I was in high school and I was like, ugh, I hate it. I hate biscotti. And then she was like, try again. And then I took a bite and I was like, this is the best thing I've ever tasted in my life. And it was such a weird thing.
Oh my gosh, where's that friend? We need to call her.
We need to call her. We need to do that with lobster.
With lobster before you come to miss. Yeah, no, that's very interesting. What did she do? Just like wave her hand?
She just said she had magic in her that could make you like certain foods. But I was like, yeah, right. But then I literally hated biscotti. And after that, I've liked biscotti ever since.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like minutes in between. Like that was so weird. So again, the magic of the earth.
Magic. Maybe you were standing in a bush.
Maybe.
Maybe that's what happened to me with the olives, and I just
the vortex of Menlo Park. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but so good. Now I'm obsessed with olives, so I can now happily. I used to feel like a poser buying like olive merch, you know, because it's so cute. But now I don't.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed. Anyway, so those are my 2 things I had to share about the grapes and the.
Very similar looking food.
Yeah, you're right. Anyways, we have both despite our busy schedules and traveling and all that, we've both been enamored recently.
Enamored by The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm obsessed. So I finished it on Monday. We're recording this on a Wednesday. And I feel my life depleted ever since. Like, I have nothing to live for.
I know. I'm like, what am I supposed to watch now? And I watched
Literally.
it so many times, like, because I was at my friend's house, and like anytime I had time in between anything, I was just like watching Secret Life of Mormons. And when Matt came to visit, I was like, Matt, just rewatched it. It's like, we gotta watch. You have to. I have to feel.
Did he love it?
He liked it.
John loved it. He didn't watch the whole thing with me, but he would like pop in, and he couldn't stop talking about it.
Yeah, he'd be like, what's going on? He'd be like, so this one hooked up with this one, or like, what is the... And I'm like, no, none of those people are on here.
My favorite moment with John was when he leans over and he's like, okay, but Taylor is kind of white trash.
I think Matt said something similar to me too.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, you know their names. He's like, yeah, and Whitney, don't love her.
Yeah. He's like, gosh, I think Matt said Whitney was like a bitch or something.
We don't like Whitney. She's a fake friend.
No, she's awful.
She's awful.
And also, I hate all of her videos. Like,
oh my God. The RSV one. We can't stop talking about it.
I know she won't stop talking about it.
But also we can't. Because like we'd both seen that video before, but we didn't know that was her. And when that came on the TV, I was like, shut the fuck up. And now we can't stop watching that video, and we can't stop watching like spoofs that people have made of her video. And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Wait, I didn't look it up. What is the RSV?
They played it on the TV. It's when her son was in the hospital and she did like her little dance. You don't remember this?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay. The dots are connecting.
It was the most iconic moment of like the whole show.
Yeah. No, I do remember that. She does so many things to me that are very distasteful that I feel like just add it to the list. Like, you know, like obviously that's awful. But like everything she does is awful.
But it was so funny because she's like, Taylor didn't get any hate when she was like in the swinging scandal, but I got all this hate because I filmed a simple little dancing video while my son was in the emergency room. I'm like, those are very different, my girl.
And like, also, why would you do that? Just put yourself there. Like, put yourself like your child is in the hospital. Like, how could you get up and film a TikTok? Ask people who create TikToks.
I know. Although your little TikTok from the hospital.
Okay. That was different because it was myself.
I know. I found that TikTok the other day, you guys. The one where Torri's like, she was like in the hospital, and at the end of the video, she does like a little photo slideshow of like herself, just like makeup running down her face. Like, it was so funny.
I just needed to. I was like, I gotta document this. I gotta keep the people informed.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, so Mormon Wives. First off, greatest show I've ever seen. Best show on television. If you haven't watched it, stop listening to this episode right now. Go watch it, and then come back and listen to the rest of this episode.
Yeah, and also maybe we should give people a little bit of preface and act like, okay, just in case you don't know.
Mom talk.
Did
you even watch this, Torri?
Yes, I watched it so many times. But Mom Talk was formed off of like these big group of Mormon wives who like got together in southern Utah and would like do these dances or like skits or whatever, and then eventually there started some swinging going on in the group. And it wasn't all of them. It was only like a few of them were involved in like the swinging. But then like things got really messy with that, and people got divorced, and like rules were broken in their like swinging like world of rules that they had for each other. So that's whenever people started getting like divorced and stuff like that. And then kind of like mom talk was brewing. Like they always say in the show, they're like, we got to get mom talk back to like what it was originally about. Like this is really going to affect mom talk. Like it's so funny. There's so many memes about that because they like won't stop.
Okay, did you know though that the swinging scandal was actually with Taylor and then two girls who were not on the show?
Yeah.
And that's it. So all the other moms were like, that just like ruined our lives. I'm like, you weren't even included in this.
I know. It's so stupid. Also, I was really hoping that the two girls that weren't on the show were going to be on the show because like I've seen them like post together and I knew vaguely about like the swinging scandal. I didn't know the details or anything, but I knew like vaguely about it and I was like, oh my gosh, I want them on the show. I want the tea.
I know. Well, they said they would only come on the show if Taylor wasn't on the show.
I wonder if it's because they were like mad about her talking about it or if it's because they didn't want to talk about it and they knew that if Taylor was on the show, they were going to talk about it, you know?
Okay, so I actually watched like a long ass TikTok about all of this. So basically there was Taylor and then these other two girls, Miranda and Camille or something. I can't even remember their names. And basically what happened is they all started soft swinging. And then like one of the other girls' husbands caught feelings for Taylor and she didn't know this. But then Taylor's ex-husband like told her about like how he was like really into Taylor and stuff and that they were like, you know, having like an emotional relationship like behind the scenes. And so she got really mad at Taylor and they were like best friends and now they're not friends anymore. And she like hates Taylor because of this.
Well, and I think they got a divorce. That was Miranda.
Yeah, they all got divorces. But it was like mostly because of that situation, I guess, that they were like, we are not friends with Taylor. We're not going on the show if Taylor's associated.
But also, like, what would you do? Would you ever give up like that big of an opportunity because someone you didn't like was going to be on the show as well? It's not like it was just her, you know?
Yeah, but like, look what happened to Whitney. Like, everyone hates her now. And they like weren't holding back with this show, you know? So I feel like if you're going to go on the show and like be portrayed in a negative light, it's probably not going to be great for you. I don't know. But it was messy. I was there. It was rare. It was so good. Let's talk about Jen Affleck.
Oh, yes. The original Jen Affleck.
The original Jen Affleck.
The only now.
I know. Yeah, so her husband is psychotic.
I can't stand him.
I can't stand him and his stupid blonde hair and his gambling addiction.
Yeah, and his first reaction when she was mentioned the Chippendales to him, like when they were getting ready, and she was like, yeah, I think that they're going to do that. And he was like, well, it'd be really hard to raise two kids by yourself. Gross behavior, honestly. Like, what do you think is actually going to happen, like, at this Chippendale thing? Like,
I know. It's a show. It's not even, like, a stripper. Like, it's a show.
Like, you're so far away. Like, and even if you do, you walk up, throw some money on stage, it's, like, a fun to do. It's not, like... Also, the fact Taylor couldn't go, either, because her boyfriend... I don't know if they're engaged yet at that time.
No.
Her boyfriend, like, was throwing a fit, too. She was super pregnant, so she didn't care. But I bet you, had she not been pregnant, she would have been like, I'm going.
Yeah. Wait, did they get engaged?
For some reason, I thought they were. Right now. Current day.
Oh. Well, I don't know, because that was a huge plot point that she, like, would not marry him.
Yeah. Which I don't think that and they definitely weren't like on the show, but I think in present day that they are engaged.
That would be crazy.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. I know it's not like on the show though.
I kind of want to look this up.
Yeah, look it up. But regardless, him, and also like you can just tell the way that like something that didn't sit right with me was like her husband and them doing that, like, the baptism or whatever. that they were having, and how all the men only got to go up there to like bless the child for
Yeah.
baptism, and the women had to sit there. That is, God is a woman.
Okay, they're not engaged, by the way.
Oh, okay.
They're still together, but they're not engaged, which I would be shocked at because she like really did not want to get married.
Yeah.
No, the Mormon religion is crazy. Like, I didn't know much about it before the show, but John was telling me, because John knows everything about Mormons, and he's like, it's a very like new religion. Like, this guy literally just came up with it one day in like the late like 1800s or something, the 19th century. And he was just like, this is what we're going to do now. And it's literally just a cult. It's a religious cult that people like consider just a religion. But these things make no sense at all. Like the way that they can't drink coffee, which apparently this came from that they couldn't drink hot beverages, which was like coffee and tea. So now they can just like go get, you know, sodas at like 9 a.m. and drink like so much soda all day. And like these girls were doing ketamine. These girls were doing like laughing gas for their Botox, like Botox in general. Like it was so weird. Like, what are the rules here?
No, it's the strangest thing to me. I've always been fascinated by the Mormon religion. Like, it's one of those things, like, remember my guilty pleasures, how we were talking about those, like, falling down the rabbit holes? I fall down a Mormon rabbit hole, like, at least once a month. But it's more so for me, like, the fundamentalist ones that I fall down, which isn't the same thing as, like, what these girls are, but it's kind of similar. Like, and I don't hate that, but, like, it is. Like, it is. And you don't like it, but, like, you need to take a look around. It's because you're religious. You know what I mean? Not trying to be rude, but, like, I don't agree with the Mormon religion. That is not to say that if you're Mormon, I don't like you at all. Like, I love everyone, like, and everyone do your own thing. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what sits right with you, then that's what sits right with you and speaks to you. But I don't like it personally, and it's not.
But it just makes no sense. Like, it literally, they'll just like change things. Like apparently they would not allow Black people in the church. And they basically said that like Black people, oh, I can't remember. They were like the descendant of someone who was like, you know, major sinner, devil, whatever. So they wouldn't let Black people in the church. But then when civil rights happened, they were getting like so much hate and like all this stuff. And they were like, oh yes, no, Black people are allowed in the church. Like, we never said that. And they just like changed it one day.
That's so stupid. They also do apparently this thing where, like, when you're in school, they have this day, and I forget what it's called, but they make all of the kids dress up like they're from like the time period when like the Mormon Bible like started, you know what I mean? Like in those like old-timey clothes. And then they make them like carry like a wagon and stuff like that, and like act as if they are like going on the Oregon Trail for like a long amount of time and do this like crazy hike. I want to say it's overnight. I forget exactly what it's called, but I've fallen down this rabbit hole one too many times. And this isn't the regular. This isn't just like the FLDS, like the fundamentalist ones. No, this is like in the Mormon religion, they do this. And it's like for kids in elementary school age or middle school age, something like that. But they make them do that for like a full day. I think it's a full day, because I think that they talked about sleeping out there, but they have to like walk for miles in these clothes, like carrying the wagon, like in the olden days, just so they can know like what it was like for their like
back in the 19th century.
That's super relevant.
That's wild.
The period under, I mean, I almost said period under, but the purity garments.
Oh yeah, what do those look like?
So they're like all white, like they basically look like old-timey underwear.
Weird.
Yeah, and they're like
it's just weird, honestly. And like, you do you, but this isn't a religion, this is a cult.
No, I agree. And like, I don't like it personally. My viewpoint on it is that it's wrong. but that is my viewpoint on it. But I'm not mad at you if that's what you believe. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Like, you do you. This is just what we think.
And I just hate the way that women in religions like that are like perceived, you know?
Yeah, no, it's all about like the man leads the household, and women are just supposed to be subservient and do what the man wants, and it's gross.
And listen, and I said last episode, we messed up. Now we have to have jobs. Like,
That's true.
I get it, but also like it's not even just about the roles of chores and stuff like that. There is like a hierarchy in that religion where it's like I'm in charge. What I say goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I don't subscribe to that, and I don't believe in it because what I say goes.
Because we run our households. It's interesting. Like, I honestly think the Amish have it better than the freaking Mormons.
Really?
Just like the Amish have clear rules. They have like clear boundaries. They know what they're doing. The Mormons are out here like, oh, we're not allowed to drink coffee, but also we're doing ketamine, and we're not allowed to have sex before marriage, but soaking exists. Like, and you just jump on the bed and then it's fine. It's not even a sin. And all these videos of like interviewing the BYU students, like, would you rather go to war or drink a cup of coffee? Would you rather have a sip of coffee or kill a puppy? Oh, I'd rather kill a puppy for sure. Like, what is wrong with you? That's fucking crazy.
Also, it's like to contain people like that, that's what causes like the swinging and the really acting out. And some people have drug addictions and those kinds of religions pretty easily because like they're so like restricted their entire life. And
Okay, so the swinging. So, you know, John, we have to do a whole episode on this, but John was raised in a cult as well. The IFB cult religion, whatever you want to call it. And he said that when he got a little bit older, he found out that like so many people in his church were swinging. And they just like shut you down like sexually. They just shut it all down, and they're like, you can only have one partner for life. That's it. You have to get married super young. And then it's like, you have to get that out of your system somehow. So then they're all swinging and they're all doing these like crazy sex parties and stuff. And it's okay because you're married.
it's wild. It's like almost like the shame that those kinds of religions like force upon you about these things that are normal. Like, breed that kind of stuff, you know?
That's exactly it. They're like, they shame you throughout your entire childhood. And who was it that got married? Oh, it was like Michaela or something, or Whitney. I don't know. One of them got married and had a baby at like 16. Like, how is that okay?
Yeah.
If you're a child.
That is so wild. Also,
It's wild.
Like, now that these girls are older, I'm like, what are you guys doing still in this religion? Like, what are
Yeah, because so many people leave the LDS religion.
But and I get it. I'm sure it's hard because it's like not just leaving like the belief system of the religion. I'm sure it's like leaving a community because some people are gonna like look at you differently.
Mm-hmm. But that community will like kick you out so easily. Yeah. That's the thing about Mormons. Like, if you do like one thing wrong, like the church will like excommunicate you.
Yeah.
It's just sad.
Also, like, BYU, I think, is so weird. Like, why would you go to college there? You know?
No, seriously, it's crazy. And like, then you look at like Kylie Kadich went there.
She did?
Yeah.
Is she Mormon?
No.
Was she raised Mormon though?
I don't know, but
is she from Utah?
She's from Utah, and she lives in Salt Lake. And I think that's very interesting. Like the non-Mormons who go to BYU and live in Salt Lake, I'm like, is it weird? Like, you have to like pay taxes to the Mormon church if you live there.
I bet she probably was raised Mormon. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe someone in her family was Mormon just by proximity, you know, of like
Yeah.
Salt Lake City, you know. Also, something
Yeah.
that needs to be studied and talked about in a Venn diagram, and I think I've said this before, is how many influencers come from Utah
Mm-hmm.
and are Mormon. And I think that that's because like their religion is to like look beautiful and put together and always like look your best, and like that's like kind of indoctrinated in their religion, like it's like all throughout it. So I think that like because of that, it like whatever it is, like whatever their religion is with Mormons, it breeds like that travel blogger influencer era. You know what I'm talking about? Like the
Yeah.
Instagram era.
And I also think that it's like a way for them to make their own money, these women, because they are like, it seems like they're so discouraged from like having a job. Like they're just supposed to like be a stay at home mom and like, you know, make dinner and do the grocery shopping. And so this kind of gives them a way to like make their own living while like staying at home and like being a mom.
It's just like bizarre to me the fact that there's so many of them, you know, from that. Like,
Someone does need to study this.
what do you, it's just wild. It's wild. But I do agree, like, they're, like, remember in the episode they were like, who here is the bread maker for their breadwinner for their
Bread maker.
well, probably
I'm the bread maker and the breadwinner.
they are well. First of all, bread maker, duh. That's a
Duh.
all our bread making bread.
They're out there churning their own butter and shit.
And who am I to say that that's wrong for them? Maybe for them that's right. You know?
Yeah, especially when it's like the only thing you've ever known, like growing up, and like that's what your mom did, and that's what your grandma did, and like it is like, I think it's a form of brainwashing, but it's like, I don't know. You do what your parents do a lot of the time. And it takes a lot of courage and bravery to like branch out from that and like do something else. And so it's just sometimes easier to just like stick with it.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, I always wanted Matt to do an assignment in Salt Lake City, like so badly, for a bunch of reasons, but one of the big reasons is because I want to see them up close.
Go hang out at a swig all day.
No, exactly. Like the fact that like they're obsessed with like soda and like sweet. Like I actually had this one Mormon friend in college, and it was like the first time that Mormonism was like in my face. He's very nice. His name was Kyle. He was a cheerleader at BYU.
Oh,
And he was telling me,
they allow male cheerleaders at BYU?
mm-hmm,
That's crazy.
I know, who would have thought? But he was telling me about like, you know, well, I feel like alcohol can be a crutch for people, you know, like at parties and stuff. And if you think about it, I go to parties, and because I'm Mormon, like I don't drink, and I don't have that crutch. Like I just have to like be myself. And I remember I was like, "You're so right. That is crazy," you know, because I was in college and I remember thinking like, I can't imagine doing that.
No, seriously.
I'm like, that sounds like my worst nightmare. But he was telling me that they have these like dessert parties there, and that they're like a huge deal. Like they don't have regular parties, they're dessert parties. So everyone will bring like a dessert to like someone's house, like cookies or cake or like some sort of sweets, and like people and soda and stuff, and people will just like sit around and like eat dessert and like hang out. And I'm like, that reminds me of like what I used to do in like ninth grade
Yeah, exactly.
or middle school.
Yeah. Sweet treat culture. Yeah, that was what we did before we couldn't drink. So I guess it makes sense that they would be like in their like early 30s doing this shit.
Yeah. Or even like imagine just college students doing that. I'm like, I'm sad for you. Just like
That's why soaking exists. They're like, oh my God, I'm so bored. Do you want to go soak? I'll have my friend jump on the bed.
or they're like, hey, let's go to Vegas and get married this weekend so we can have sex this weekend and then get it annulled.
Yep. And that is why I don't think that works.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy. I knew someone in college who like just as college was ending, she was like, I am Mormon. And we were all like, what? Like, since when? And she was like, I never felt comfortable telling you guys this. And I was like, this is so random. You've been drinking, you've been having sex, like you've been doing all the regular college stuff. So all of a sudden she gets super, super Mormon after college and she meets this guy, and within like months they're married. And I asked her why. I was like, why did you guys get married so fast? And she was like, well, I really wanted to have sex with him. And I was like, girl, you're not even a virgin. Okay. I know what you were like in college. Like, you were not a virgin. This is crazy behavior.
Oh my God. Wait, so like she went so she was Mormon before she came to college. She didn't like decide to be Mormon.
Well, apparently she was like Mormon by her, like one of her parents was Mormon, but she was never like super, super Mormon. But then as soon as college was ending, she was like, this is my calling. Like, I want to be a good Mormon. And like, so she was all like born again, basically. But it was just weird how I was like, okay, you have been a hoe in college. And now you're just going to be like, I'm a virgin. And it's like, can you just decide that? Like, just to like openly admit, like, oh, we're getting married so I can have sex with him. Like, is that really healthier than just having sex with someone before marriage?
No, because then like you're stuck with that person, and what if they're like, abusive or like,
yeah, and divorce is super frowned upon in the Mormon culture, which is funny because like all these girls are divorced, but
yeah.
I don't know. That's the thing, that feels like they can pick and choose. Like they're like, well, we can't drink coffee, but we can do ketamine. We can't have a divorce, but I'm going to get one anyway. Like, we're not supposed to have sex before marriage, but I'm having his baby and I'm not getting married. Like, it's just like, what are the rules here? I don't get it.
No, I agree. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And honestly, it should be illegal. I'm like, I don't hate Mormonism, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it should be illegal.
Yes, it is a cult. It's literally just a cult that we have accepted as a society. And we're like, that's okay. They're not killing anyone. So they can have that.
Yeah.
Wild behavior. Anyway, if you guys haven't seen Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, just go sit in front of your TV. It's on Hulu. Don't stop until you get to the end. It is gold. It is the best TV ever.
Mm-hmm. I've rewatched it. It's so good.
I need to go rewatch it because I'm having withdrawals. I miss it, but they're so crazy.
Yeah, but we do not like or agree with Whitney or Jen Affleck's husband.
Jen Affleck's husband? Mr. Affleck.
Mr. Affleck. Both of them, no.
Yeah, it's a no for me, dog. I really like Jess, Demi, and Macy.
Demi and Macy are my two favorite.
Yeah, because Macy's actually normal, and Demi will tell it how it is. She's like, if you're doing something messed up, I'm going to tell you that it's messed up. And I'm like, someone needs to do that. My God.
Which one is Jess? There's so many of them.
She's also has brown hair, but most of them have brown hair. She's like friends with Demi, like really, really good friends with Demi.
Oh, yes, the hairdresser.
Oh, is she the hairdresser? Jizz?
Yeah.
Jizz hair salon?
Jizz, yeah, right.
Yeah, Jizz.
The sign.
I'm dead. No, it's so good. We need season 2 right now. Stat. Give it to me.
I hope they're filming. Like, we need
I'm sure they are.
Yeah, it did way too good for
there to not be season. I know my entire For You page is Mormon wives, Mormon wives, Mormon wives. Like everywhere I look, I'm getting more tea. I'm seeing spoofs. I'm just obsessed. Well, go watch it. We probably spoiled a lot of it if you haven't already watched it, but I tried to warn you.
Also, sorry, Mormons. I feel a little guilty because I feel like I went kind of hard on you, but maybe get some reflection.
Self-reflection would be good. Like, you do you. But as long as you're being like cognizant of what's actually going on and you're really, really thinking about it.
Yeah. Really think about if these are we're serving you. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes, but we love you, you crazy child of God.
Well, we love you regardless. Drink your soda.
Have your cupcakes and your crumble cookies.
Yeah, crumble cookie. Go to dessert parties. Do you. Love you.
All right, you guys. Well, you know where to find us. We are at Internet Girlz Pod on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You can listen to our pods wherever you get your podcasts, obvi. Follow us, Hanley Lifestyle and Torri Sunshine, 2Rs1I. And with that, we hope you enjoyed our super judgy episode on Mormon wives. And we're sorry for being this way, but we got to tell it like it is. And Internet Girlz are out.